Yes, if you are a man listening to my voice, stop eating okra soup. When I go to side they play, go and ask your doctor, they will explain better. Stop eating okra soup if you are a man. Listen, that okra seed contains what is known as what Gossipol. And listen, this Gossipol can reduce your fertility rate. Not just that, oh, it can also reduce your stamina in gynecology. And at the same time, it can affect what your fertility. Like, it will make it difficult for some men to even impregnate a woman. Yes, if you are a man here and you are listening to the sound of my voice, stop eating okra soup. Yes, I'm telling you the truth. Okra soup is better for women and not for men. It is not okay for men to eat okra soup. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you want to eat raw.
Right, guys, so you listened to that video. Now it's very important that when you are addressing an issue, you address it from a point of having the level of professional knowledge to be able to handle that issue. Now the question is, can Gossipol in okra soup from okra contained in okra seeds cause infertility in men? That's the question. What does research say? So I have gone ahead to make a comprehensive video on what exactly this whole thing means from the viewpoint of a phytochemist, because that's what I am. I am qualified to be able to answer this question because of the level of my training. I went ahead and I also pulled up references from scientific journals to back up everything I'm saying, so that there is no doubt in anybody's mind and nobody is coming here to come and argue, because this happens a lot when I debunk things. Now, it's true that okra does contain something called Gossipol, right? And Gossipol is what is called a polyphenolic compound. This is the chemical structure of Gossipol. A phenol is something that contains OH, that is oxygen and hydrogen. And you can see there are multiple OH attached to the molecule, right? I am putting this up because I'm going somewhere, but that will be later in the video. So the question is, does okra contain Gossipol? Yes, but the Gossipol is found in okra seeds. And when you are talking about plant chemicals found from in different sources, not only are you talking about the fact that the plant chemical was found in that source, you have to also mention in what amount it is found. So it is found, that is Gossipol is found in the seeds of okra in low to moderate amounts compared to what you can find in cotton seed, which is the main source of Gossipol. Note that. Now, it is true that Gossipol has been used as a contraceptive for men. As a matter of fact, there are studies that prove that it is very effective in men to control reproduction. That is, a man taking Gossipol will not be able to impregnate another woman. Okay, and how does it work? It works by inhibiting what is called spermatogenesis, that is the production of sperm cells in the man. Now, the lady whose video I stitched to this video said that if men eat okra soup, it is bad for them, but women can eat okra soup. Now, what you need to know is that Gossipol has been shown in some studies to have a negative effect on female fertility as well. Okay, and how does it do that? It damages the process of folliculogenesis. That is the way the follicles grow on the ovaries. The follicles are what produce eggs when you ovulate, right? So it can damage that and damage the eggs, similar to what is happening in the man. And I cited Câmara et al. 2015 for this. So I'm going to attach the references to the comment section so you guys can copy it and go and do further reading. So this brings us to something very, very important and crucial, which this young lady did not take into consideration. What is the dose of Gossipol that can have contraceptive effects in men? So a study was done in the year 2000 by Câmara et al. And what they did was that they administered 15 milligrams of Gossipol to men for about 12 to 16 weeks. And afterwards, they reduced the dose to 7.5 to 10 milligrams daily for the next 40 weeks. And this was a human trial that showed that this dose suppressed sperm production. And although in most men, sperm count came back to normal after they discontinued Gossipol for a while, in about 10% of those men, that did not happen. They were rendered sterile permanently. 10% of those men. Now, the dose that was given was 15 milligrams of this Gossipol in men every day, and then they reduced it to 7.5 to 10 after a while, after spermatogenesis has been reduced. Now let's go to the content of Gossipol in okra seeds. So the content of Gossipol in okra seeds is about 2 2.12 milligrams. This is an average per kilogram of okra seeds. Do you know what a kilogram is? It is a very large amount. It's like this. So what that's literally telling you is that you have to collect a lot of okra seeds that weighs up to 1 kilogram for you to get 2.12 milligram. What is the effective dose for contraception in men? It is between 7.5 milligrams daily to 10 milligrams per day. No, to 50 milligrams per day, right? According to that human study that was done in the year 2000, right? If you want to achieve contraceptive effects by ingesting the seeds, or not even the whole okra, you have to take at least between 1 to 5 kilograms of okra seeds. You have to swallow it for you to get that effect. Note that. Also note that the okra seeds must not be cooked. Why? That brings me to another thing that this young lady is completely unaware of because she's not a chemist. And that is when you cook okra, because you're making okra soup, right? She mentioned okra soup. She did not mention raw okra seeds. So we are talking about okra soups. So when you prepare okra soup, what happens? You cook it, you boil it, right? When you are boiling it, whatever gossipol, whether it is in small quantities or moderate quantities, it will degrade under the influence of the heat. Some of it will degrade. In fact, most of it, about 70% will degrade under heat. Note that. Then what do? Then what else do? You add salt to your okra soup, right? Have you ever seen okra that is not cooked with salt? No. So what happens when you add salt and you are boiling the okra? What will happen is that the salt, accompanied with the heat, will convert gossipol into bound and oxidized forms. Look at the structure. You can see from the structure of the gossipol molecule that it will be unstable if you apply heat and salt to it. Note that. So what does this tell you? Does eating okra soup reduce fertility in men, considering the fact that you are eating less than 2.12 milligram if you are taking a whole kilogram of okra seeds, and that would probably translate to drinking a whole basin of okra soup that has been heated and you have added salt to it that has destroyed almost 90% of what is there? Can it cause infertility in men? The answer is no. Why? Because it is cooked, and not only that, it's cooked with salt. Not only that, the content of gossipol is very, very minute. Because what did I tell you people concerning the study that was done? That study that was done showed that gossipol is effective between the doses of 7.5 milligrams to 15 milligrams per day. And drinking a whole basin of okra soup will give you less than 0.2 milligrams. So negligible. Therefore, no effect. However, can eating okra seeds uncooked in large quantities have a contraceptive effect on men? Yes. Why? Because if you eat enough to be able to accumulate the amount of dosage that can cause contraception, what happens? Contraception will occur. And the okra seeds has not been subjected to heat, has not been, and they not put salt in it to degrade it further. Therefore, that can cause infertility. Now, there is always this paradox of, when people hear something, oh, there's gossipol in okra. Therefore, we know that gossipol is a contraceptive. Therefore, if men eat okra soup, it will have a contraceptive effect on them. You have to study the plant chemistry to understand that when they say a plant contains this, you have to know the quantity it contains before you can start extrapolating things. That is one. Two, you have to understand the chemistry of that chemical substance and what happens to it under the conditions under which you are talking about, which is cooking, which is okra soup, before you can make an inference. Okay, so that's my take on it. Thank you to those people that were tagging me and sending it to my DM. I hope I've made perfect sense. Please, if you want to see the references, check the caption of this video. Bye bye.